Hey there, gamers. DreamcastGuy here. Today we're going to talk about the brutal Xbox bloodbath because in the last 24 hours, they have shut down so many different studios. They've canceled pretty much every single Xbox game, but it's also more than that. I think it's the fact that we are now seeing a sign. This is the end of Xbox. Just empirically, measurably, Xbox does not care about their fans. They don't care about their developers. They don't care about their projects. They don't care about their hardware. At this point, Xbox is just a tiny little investor piece of the big Microsoft pie. But I wanted to make this video today specifically just trying to prophesize, to predict the fact that I believe in the next year, Bethesda is just getting shut down. At this point, the whole big Bethesda umbrella that was bought for billions and billions of dollars, almost every single studio that was part of the Bethesda merger, they've all been shut down. All of them have just been shut down. And I'm going to show you a map literally of every studio they've shut down in just the last 2 years. I think it's at a point where even if you're making good games, even if you have passion, even if the fans love you, even if you're getting Game Pass signups, Xbox is just dead. It's not about good or bad. It's not about potential. It's not about dedication. It's literally just about investors. And it seems like canceling games instead of actually releasing them. But let me talk. Hi, hope you're having a great day. And if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So I've been thinking a lot about this slow death of Xbox. And it's very weird that we've reached this point because even a decade ago, they were one of the big three. They're used to actually be cool, fresh competition. Whenever Xbox would reveal something, it was exciting, it was new, it was different, until this day. The reveal of the Xbox One was a catastrophe that Xbox never retired from because this guy, Don Mattrick, the dude who basically gave the job to Phil Spencer, this dude said that gamers don't matter. He said every game should be basically unsellable. You should not have used games. Every game requires an online connection. You just have this little camera aimed at your ball sack at all times. This tanked the company, obviously. If you weren't around back then, but this decision, the reveal of the Xbox One, was such a legendary train wreck. In fact, I got a video on my channel from 10 years ago reacting to it with my little stick arms at the time, and you can see that I'm so confused about what the hell this thing is supposed to be. But I wanted to actually start by looking at this. Here is every first-party studio in 2023. This is after a lot of the initial closures, and it's weird to look at it and see which of these studios now still exist. So the founders of Rare, they have all been fired. Let's see, Double Fine's okay. Turn 10 just had almost all of its employees fired. Coalition's basically been gutted. Playground Games, Obsidian, Undead Labs. A lot of these companies are, if they still exist, they're definitely a shell of them former selves. Oh yeah, The Initiative, they're just dead. Oh yeah, Zenimax. What happened yesterday? They basically just got completely gutted. All their projects canceled. Arcane. Oh wait, they're dead. Tango. Oh, one of my favorites. Oh yeah, they got fired. They got kicked out. Oh yeah, Activision. High Moon, gone. Toys for Bob, gone. Raven. Yesterday, they fired about 80% of the staff. I mean, the fact that you can literally go down, and this doesn't even include all of them. This doesn't even include the fact that what happened to Vicarious Visions. My point is the fact that all these companies, whether they're profitable, whether they're good, whether they're bad, at this point, if they're not just the biggest, craziest thing ever, and sometimes even if they are, they still just completely love to can your ass. Now, I think I keep seeing stuff like this, where a lot of Xbox fanboys are kind of ripping each other to shreds, trying to say, it's your fault. You guys shouldn't have been defending Phil Spencer so much. All this stuff. Almost all of these outlets continuously wrote off these puff pieces for Phil Spencer. Oh, he's such a good executive. Oh, he's so forward thinking. Oh, this guy hates you. All those people that constantly just make songs about Phil Spencer, all the people that were wearing those shirts that said, in Phil Spencer we trust, this is the guy who is going to be signing the checks for your firing bonus when Bethesda gets shut down. But why Bethesda? Why am I talking about that? I think it's the fact that at this point, it seems like every company, everything that they're currently doing, everything even under the Bethesda umbrella is being just whittled down bit by bit. Here in March, Xbox boss Phil Spencer was so impressed by the demo at Zenimax, which is part of Bethesda, codename Blackbird, that Matt Booty had to tell him to stop playing so the meeting could continue. Man, that's so great. All that creativity, ambush, and grandeur. Oh, wait, and that still means that in about 2 months, you got to get out. Now, this is a quote that's been going around a lot. Is apparently every person that played this new game is apparently very similar to Destiny, but it had like a film noir aesthetic. Think about the fact that they spent hundreds of millions of dollars, very likely making this. MMOs are some of the most expensive genre by far. They're more than live service. They're more than everything, right? The fact that they spent so much money on this, and it seems like it was very close to being completed, and it still got canned. This is the stuff that I feel like is very unique to Xbox, which is that you could say PlayStation doesn't release enough games, and I'll definitely be on that side, but PlayStation still tries to let stuff cook, at least it seems like it, but this is such a good example about how, just from the bottom of my heart, these people do not care. Phil Spencer is a heartless lunatic. I actually saw this. These are two big Xbox creators. Gaz here makes a bunch of videos and podcasts about how Xbox is the best thing ever and stuff. I think now all Xbox YouTubers suddenly decided to be PC gamers. But anyways, this game impressed Xbox executives. Okay, this would be reassuring to most devs, but for this, it means nothing because Phil Spencer's hollow praises don't mean anything because there's a good chance that it's still going to meet the same fate as every other Xbox game. I think this basically means that Phil and other executives have lost control over the Xbox division, and other people are now telling them what to do and what not to do. And I think this is a very clear sign about why Xbox is dying. Game development is taking longer than ever. Undoubtedly, this is the primary problem with the entire gaming industry, is that games now take 5, 6, 7 years to release, whereas there used to be a game every 2 years. Like just think back to the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 3 generation. We got the entirety of the Mass Effect trilogy in one generation. We got the entirety, the first 3 games of, I don't know, something like Uncharted, which was incredibly good. We got the entire Gears of War trilogy. We got entire series, entire sagas, entire developers started, founded, hired, built an entire series of games, became billion-dollar franchises in one generation. And you just don't see that now because these companies, it takes longer to make stuff, and the people at the top, the publishers, the people like Xbox, would rather fire you even if the game is nearly done because, yeah, we got what we wanted. We wanted to put out a flashy trailer. We wanted the stock price to go up, and now you can all get out. It's not actually about buying the game. It's not about putting it on Game Pass. It's just about, oh, are the investors happy? This game was real. F Xbox again, by the way. This was a tweet I saw going around, which is the fact that some people were trying to claim that Perfect Dark was actually super early in development, and they basically just had like a little teaser trailer. People that said, hey, look, I worked on it. I was one of the 3-level designers. It worked best if you played it in the way the person in the trailer was playing it, but it still worked even if you didn't hit the marks perfectly. This basically means, yeah, the game is pre-alpha. It's not close to beta. It's not done. It doesn't have a complete story or cutscenes or voice acting, but this was a game that was playable. You could sit down with a controller and actually play it, and they still canned it, which means I'm definitely getting more and more to the part when I see these people being like, oh man, I can't believe. Doesn't matter how much growth you're driving, how talented you are, you're still just getting kicked out. Now, here's the real crux of it. Here's the point of this video. I feel like we're a year or so away from the announcement of Todd Howard has departed Bethesda Game Studios. I can't be understated how badly Microsoft has managed to screw up these studios. Zero reason to trust this company because all their focus is purely on AI. Now, Mr. Matty, this dude, his channel originally blew up being a pure Bethesda channel. This guy, he started making videos like in early high school. He had a little squeaky voice. He was doing fan videos about the idea of Fallout 4. Then he covered Fallout 4 like crazy. This dude is the Bethesda expert. He is the Bethesda expert. He is the guy I go to. And even he is like, for what it's worth, I was told a similar thing. I don't know anything else, but Xbox One has done Zenimax Studios incredibly dirty. Honestly, they've done Bethesda as a whole dirty. How do you acquire them and then lose Pete Hines, Harvey Smith, Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil, Johanas, and Matt Firor? Like, you're a Todd Howard away from losing everything that made Bethesda what it is. I like this. This is beyond horrible. They just shut a game down that was showing good progress and was not in development hell. Xbox is literally the worst. The closure would be understandable if the game was in dev hell. They shut stuff down. Good, bad, or in between. Anything. It's just about, okay, would it be more profitable to kill it right now? Just kill it right now and write it off on our taxes. This has become such a big problem, I feel like, is that games don't have that long tail the way they used to. Used to, a game would come out and it would get, 5 waves of DLC, even if there were map packs and stuff. Oh, here's a 2-year anniversary thing, where now they're putting a demo for the next game inside the game if you already bought it. And stuff like that just doesn't exist. Think about the fact that Starfield is the lowest rated Bethesda game of all time. But also, they've lied about it. Like, that's crazy. They originally said that Starfield was going to get an expansion every year. And we got the Shattered Space expansion, which I liked and everybody else in the world hated. There was talks that maybe it was going to come to PlayStation 5, and it just disappeared. I'm really curious to see what happens with Starfield moving forward. I never really thought about that. I got to think Microsoft wants to speedrun Elder Scrolls 6. Fallout 3 Remaster, which is one of the things that's been rumored, getting canceled for sure. Starfield had a good launch, but it was all downhill from there. PlayStation 5 release may happen, but support is over after that. It is weird to think about the fact that Starfield definitely cost so much. That was definitely like the baby. That was the big Todd Howard passion project. He'd been teasing it for years and years and years. It comes out. It sucked, let's be honest. But it is weird about the fact that they didn't get a chance to fix it. They didn't get a chance to No Man's Sky it, to patch it, to repair it, to improve it. It is weird that, honestly, in a lot of ways, I do think that Xbox almost seems to hate games. It's not about the product. It's not about the subscribers. It's not about anything at this point except for what makes the investors happy. I keep thinking about people are making comparisons to Nintendo and about how Nintendo, I've got a lot of problems with Nintendo, but one thing they definitely do is that Nintendo lets people cook. Xenoblade was never a massive series. Xenoblade Chronicles has always been a very, very tiny, tiny series. Some of the games sell like 2 million copies on a console that has 150 million units sold. This is an attach rate that's like a fraction of a percent. But Nintendo says, let them cook. Let them figure it out. Just keep making it. No rush. Doesn't have to hit any deadlines. When it's done, we'll advertise it. We'll sell it. You can put out DLC or the next project. Nintendo is very good about being hands-off, about paying employees, about making sure people feel comfortable to be creative and experiment. And I'm kind of sad about the fact that I do actually start to think that this era of auteur gaming, I think it's dead. And I don't know how it comes back. I don't know. These are just some off-the-cuff thoughts. How do you feel about my prediction about the upcoming death of Bethesda? Am I being too dramatic? Probably. But tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.